Hiya crafters, Amy here with amyswares, and today I'm going to make a 40th birthday card for my hubs. So let's jump right in. Now I have this bold numerals die set from All to New. This is what I'm going to use to cut out the numbers. I have these uniquely creative kind of sentiment strips that I'm going to cut out. I'm just showing you some prep work that I did here. I did, I think, 4 layers of this 40 and the exclamation point, which I didn't end up using. And then I also have a top layer that I'm going to modify as I go when I figure out my plan. But I cut a few of these strips. I'm going to use a couple of those. And here's a photo of the finished card to show you the direction that we're headed. Now, I did decide to kind of color the edges of this cardstock because it is white core and I wanted it to look like solid black cardstock. So this is just a little optional step you can do with a black marker, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a refined touch. Now, I didn't end up using this Spellbinders folder, but I did use the Checkered Squares 3D, All to New 3D embossing folder for part of this card. I did end up embossing the top layer of the numbers for the card. So I'm just loading these in here, trying to keep them straight just so the impression is kind of uniform. I didn't want it to be kind of cockeyed or anything because it was kind of straight lines in this design. So I ran this through off screen through my Spellbinders Platinum 6, and I'm just going to attach this ultimately to those thicker base layers, but I want to figure out what I'm going to do first. So this is my chocolate box. I have a bunch of panels that are kind of extras, or maybe I had to cut them off of the card base or modify them in some way. So just flipping through these kind of pre-made items to see if I can use any of these rather than making a brand new panel. So I have that green cardstock is actually embossed with a stencil from a Colorful Life Designs. I can't remember the name of that stencil, but that's how I created that texture. And then I had a 3D embossed panel, and then that one there, which you'll see, was used on the finished card. That was actually made a mono print from Nouveau shimmer powder. So I will link the original video when I made that panel so that you can check that out. But I like that these colors kind of match together. So I just kind of pulled out a smattering of panels, not entirely sure which direction I'm going to go, but I'm liking these colors for my husband. So I kind of just pull it all out and then kind of determine as I go what I'm going to do. But I have that 3D embossed vellum. That's a really thick, nice vellum. And I have this rectangle die. Now, sadly, I think these are discontinued. They're from Craft Stash. They're like a torn edge nested rectangle die or something like that. And I did use that to cut down the main panel that I'm going to use. And then I did ultimately end up using a second one that's a size bigger to cut down that green one to leave that little bit of a white border. So again, I'm just kind of playing with all the different pieces, figuring out what I want to do. I'm thinking I want to kind of angle them a little cockeyed just to add some texture and interest. So again, I'm just playing around, and then I decide I want to tear the edge of this vellum. So tear it towards yourself to kind of have a little bit more control. I want to get really close to the edge because I don't want to lose too much of it, but I do want kind of an organic torn edge. I think this is a We Are Memory Keepers embossing folder. I'll try and remember to link it. If I forget in the video description box, let me know in the comments if I forget something. But I'm just going to tear just a little bit of an edge off just to kind of have it be another cool torn edge vibe. And then, like I said, I will use one of those die cuts as well on that green panel. So again, just back and forth, kind of playing around to figure out how I want to put everything together. Now, I know I want to color those 40 numbers so that they pop off the background. So I'm just looking through my swatch sheet of my Catherine Pooler inks to figure out which green I want to use to kind of match that green cardstock in the back. And it doesn't have to be a perfect match. I did end up going with Garden Party. It was actually from the Party collection. And I did a little swatch on some scratch paper just to make sure that it's close enough of a match. And then I'm going to do some ink blending. So getting my makeshift turntable out. I could have gone ink to paper, just kind of smushed it right down on there, but I decided I wanted to try first with a blending brush just to make sure it looked the way I wanted. And I knew I wasn't going to use the exclamation point, so I thought I would test it out on there first, and that worked good. So I'm just grabbing my blending brush and doing some very simple ink blending. And it does give kind of a variation in color just because of the different heights that are achieved from the 3D embossing. So there you can see I cut that down and I have all 3 panels ready, and I knew that that wasn't going to stand out quite as much as I wanted. So I could use the white and kind of kick it off to the side and create a little bit of a drop shadow, but you're going to see in a moment what I do to kind of tie in some of the black from that sentiment, as well as make it pop off the background just a little bit more. So here I'm going to use some liquid glue just right in the center, and I don't have to worry about it kind of showing because I'm going to be covering it with that watercolor panel on the top. Now that Nouveau Shimmer Powders panel, that was a mono print from the stencil, that would have been on watercolor paper. So it's a bit of a cream, definitely a thick, heavyweight sort of watercolor paper. It was probably Canson XL, and I'm using this 1-inch foam tape from scrapbook.com. This is 2mm thick. I don't have to worry about shipping it because I'm just going to hand deliver it to the Hubs, so I don't have to worry about it being two-dimensional, so I can kind of go buck wild with that because I don't have to put it through the mail. So here you can see the white is cool with the drop shadow, but again, it's not quite enough. So I'm figuring out in my head, like, how can I make the 40 stand out even more? And when I put that black down, I think, I'm going to make it black. So I just grabbed a black marker. This is just a black Copic. Use any black marker that you have if you need to custom color it. Or you could just get your dies out again and cut out some black cardstock and throw another layer on there. Here I'm just testing it first to make sure it's going to look the way I want before I finish. And I'm being mindful not to let the marker go on the edge because I want the edges to be white when you look at it from the side. So I'm just very carefully covering just that top layer with the black marker. On both the 4 and the 0, and then that will give it more of a black drop shadow and help it kind of pop off the background. So think about what you can do if something isn't quite right. Think about ways that you can maybe color it or just do ink to paper and kind of modify it just to kind of tweak it as you go. It doesn't all have to be figured out. You can kind of just wing it like I do, and usually it ends up just fine. So now it's just a matter of putting everything together. I'm going to remove that release paper from that foam tape and again cock this panel at an angle just to kind of give it that whimsy interest all through the front of the design. And now I'm going to use some liquid glue to attach these green numbers to the black raised shadow, and I am kind of deliberately cocking it off to the side because I want some of that black to show. So you can absolutely line it up perfectly and you would still have the dimension, but again, I really wanted that drop shadow to give some separation to the design. So I'm going to use my heavy clear stamping block here just to kind of hold it down while the glue cures a little bit. And then I'm going to pick out my blingage. Now this bling is also from a Colorful Life Designs. This I'm just going to figure out what green ones I want to use, but basically the panel, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, this is a really cool stencil. It's called Star Grid something. I don't know. Anyway, I think I mentioned it earlier in the video. I will link everything below in the video description box. If you shop for anything from a Colorful Life Designs, be sure to use my coupon AmyFan10 and you'll save 10% on your complete order. So here I'm just picking between these two. Sometimes it helps to just lay it out on the actual panel and see how it looks to see what one you prefer. Here I'm using this cool magnetic ruler. This is a new item from the shop at Glassboard Studios. That's where I get my glass mat, but this worked so well because it's a heavy duty magnet and it was able to hold down my card. I just used the grid on my glass mat and I used this magnet to hold it down and also create a straight edge so I could make sure that the numbers were straight. So that worked out really well for me and a fun little extra usage for that magnetic ruler. So now I'm just going to use a little piece of thin foam strips. I get these from Amazon just to pop up that sentiment, and it kind of makes it the same sort of height as the 40 and give it more dimension. I've got the bling on there, and that's going to finish the card. So nice and dimensional, very textured, very fun. I think my Hubs is going to like it. Let me know in the comments what you think. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. Like I said, I'll link everything below. If you shop for Colorful Life Designs, be sure to use that coupon, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.